Welcome to Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
I was talking to one of my daughters the other day, and so she sort of worked out that we've been doing these YouTube things. Okay, and then it's like, well, what exactly are you doing, Mum? I don't really want to tell you. So then, anyway, she says,
You not
well,
look?
she said, no, she said, if you don't tell me, I'm just going to go Google it and find it that way. So you might as well tell me. So it's like, oh, okay. I said, well, we've just been having these conversations. And she said, oh, so wait for this, you're going to love it. She said, so you're the Golden Gasbaggers. And so it's a take on the Golden Girls, but all the Gasbaggers.
Gasbaggers.
And she said, so you're just the Golden Gasbaggers? I said,
Oh,
yes, we're the Golden Gasbaggers.
Love it. Thank you. Niece from another mother. I would have probably gone silver because I use the term silver in a lot of stuff. But no, golden.
Yeah, no, it's just because of the Golden Girls. And that came because we'd had a conversation a while back about the Golden Girls. Yes. And just, just looking at the Golden Girls, yeah.
This is so funny.
Because obviously, it's older ladies together. Yeah, so I wonder why they were called the Golden Girls and not the Silver Girls, because they were all silver.
I think the golden age was probably it. But the other thing, I had the same conversation about the Golden Girls the other day with two friends. So there was three of us there, and we're trying to work out who's who. And because my real name's Dorothy, so I took Dorothy. But we couldn't work out who Rue was. Rue McClanahan, so the tarty one. So I decided it had to be my horse because she goes into season every time a different horse comes past. So we picked her. But yeah, I love that, just that relatability.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that one. I thought that was pretty funny. And I thought, and it's pretty apt, isn't it? The Golden Gasbaggers. I said, oh, I've got to remember that and tell Dee.
Yes.
she just said, well, I didn't really mean it seriously. I said, it's so funny.
I'm stealing it.
We're the Golden Gasbaggers.
We could have a group session sometime too. I don't know how we'd coordinate it with several of us on here, but I could get probably another couple of friends to come on one day and just do literally a golden gas bag. So we'll have to keep that in mind for
later. Exactly. Well, and when you look, because you look at the Golden Girls, like the TV series, and they just were such diametrically opposed personalities, weren't they? But they just kind of meshed, and it was so funny. I loved that series. And like my girls did as well, which is why we've been talking about it. It's just one of those golden oldies. I mean, when you look back, some of the themes were probably quite forward for their time.
Yes, yeah. And they would have been with Betty White as Rose.
Yeah.
Funny.
Well, that's what I was going to say, like, who's the Rose? Like,
yes. No, that person's self-identified, so we were right there.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah. That was very clever.
Because I was trying to remember what were their actual roles, because Rose was she a librarian or something?
I can't I think she had a couple of jobs. There's some really great.
Dorothy was a teacher, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was a teacher. And then there was her mother.
So what was the name of who was the other character and what did she do? Like Betty or something, was it? Or?
Well, Betty White.
Or was that her real name?
Betty White was Rose from
Olaf, right.
From Olaf, who was so ditzy.
Yeah.
Dorothy Spornak was the tall one that teaches.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now, is Rue McClanahan the actor's name, or is that the character's name?
Because she was the one who owned that, like the house owner. The house, so a little bit more well-to-do than the others.
Yes, and I don't think she worked. I think she just tarted around and thought she was.
I like that, tarted around. So
yeah, good on her. Blanche
Devereaux.
Blanche Devereaux.
Yes, you're right, Blanche Devereaux.
Yeah, and then there was Dorothy's mother.
Yeah, she was a card. Just true.
She was just funny.
Truth teller.
Yeah.
So down to earth.
Yeah, and she was actually the youngest of the actors.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just the makeup,
Wow.
but she just had such a
Wow.
sharp wit. Yeah, but they often did cover off on interesting stuff, like
Mm,
Dorothy covered off on having ME/CFS, like chronic fatigue syndrome, in one of them that stood out for me. Um, and she was ignored by the doctor, but then she saw the doctor at a restaurant sometime later, and yeah, and said, yeah, called him out on his behaviour. So,
mm,
but yeah, they had a lot of other funny ones. And oh, Betty White does some funny stuff though.
mm.
She's been in other series, but I saw a clip and I don't know what series it was tied to. She was working at a motel and she's at the counter, just doing her little thing. And a robber comes in with a thing over his face. And he said, "Oh, give me the key, or give me the." Just played so dumb, and then he eventually got so frustrated he ran out, and then she picks the phone up and says, "Oh yeah, there's a blah blah," and gave the perfect description of everything, and
Mhm.
yeah, so she just played such
Mm,
bits. But she was
yeah.
she was one of the first actresses to have her nude photo suitably posed on playing cards very early on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Yep.
was obviously didn't show any bits, but she was naked and yeah.
Yeah.
So she had
Yeah.
quite a life.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun series, and it does still pop up now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fairly timeless, isn't it? Because the things that they talked about in many ways were quite timeless
Yes.
that come
Like,
up. It's because it's just about human
yeah.
interaction.
Yeah. Divorce, broken hearts, losing partners. Yeah. And then yes. Um,
Mother that, wants to be part of everything and has got a,
yep.
is a nosy Parker, but
Yep. And the you're not putting me in a home. There was one that was all about that. And yeah. Sophia Petrillo, that was her name. Sophia. Yeah.
Sophia, that's right.
And then it was
Yeah.
always so many years ago, tell a story from back in the old in from Italy. Yeah.
Mm, mm,
And they'd be all quite, yeah, bizarre stories.
mm.
Yeah, the story
And
go on.
even just the whole look though at their finances that
Mm,
was so opposed to each other. You've got the wealthy homeowner
mm,
who's a bit lonely though, so she's
yeah,
renting out her rooms. But then that other two that have to actually earn it. Well, one of them at least had to earn
yeah.
a living. I don't know with Rose how what her
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
sure I
remember.
feel like she worked at a library or something, but I
Which
just
is
can't remember.
which would amuse me just because she was so ditzy, you can't imagine her.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know why I think that. I might be wrong.
she was a grief counsellor for a mental health clinic.
Oh, grief counsellor, is
Is
that what
that the
she
right
was?
one?
Yeah, well, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because she's gone through so much trauma when her husband died. Didn't
Yes.
they have a farm? So how
Yeah.
did she even end up in the city? I don't
Oh,
even know.
yeah, no idea. Yeah.
Like the background story makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah. She was always sort of helping someone, and then didn't she end up with a partner or something, and then he died during sex or something?
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was
It was
something. I can't
something
remember
like
what it
that.
was.
I mean, we're laughing because it was a comedy show, not because yeah. But it wouldn't happen to any of the others.
Well, and one
It
of
just
them, didn't she get scammed? Like the guy that she was having a relationship with at one point, there was a scammer.
yeah, probably that probably would have been the
You
slutty one.
reckon that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it might have been
Blanche.
too.
Yeah, that still thought she was a Southern belle. Oh dear.
Oh well. Anyway, we're the Golden Gasbaggers. We're not the Golden Girls.
Well, it's still like you said, it still comes up. It's still popular with us oldies, and I think
Mm,
others would be, yeah, interested to see it. The fashion was interesting because they look like they dress so old now to us. Like a
mm,
lot of the styles, as in
mm,
old they were all meant to be in their 50s except for Sophia.
mm,
And yeah, we wouldn't
mm.
dress. so formerly or so, well, maybe it's just me and Australians and wearing jeans and yeah, there was I don't recall there ever being a pair of jeans on any of them. Hit the subscribe button below if you want to follow life hacks beyond convention.